Today's topic is Einstein's mass energy relation. According to classical mechanics, it is defined that energy can be expressed as force, product of force and displacement. And from Newton's laws, force is rate of change of momentum. From this chapter of special theory of relativity, we know that both mass and velocity are variables, and hence by differentiating the above equation 1, we get F is equal to m into dV by dt plus V into dm by dt. When a particle is displaced through a distance of dx by applying a force F, then the kinetic energy of the particle is dk is equal to F into dx. Force into displacement will give us kinetic energy. From equation 2 and 3, that is F is equal to, instead of substituting F is equal to m into dV by dt plus V into dm by dt, we get the above kinetic energy equation as dk is equal to m into dV by dt into dx plus V into dm by dt into dx. Here the small displacement is resulting in small amount of kinetic energy. Displacement చాలా తక్కువ కాబట్టి kinetic energy వచ్చేది కూడా చాలా తక్కువ. And దాన్ని తక్కువ ఎనర్జీ అని రిప్రజెంట్ చేయడం కోసం we are taking small amount of change, that is dk. So dk corresponds to the kinetic energy due to the displacement dx. దాన్ని ఇంకొంచెం సింప్లిఫై చేసుకుంటే మనం m into dv పక్కన పెట్టుకొని దాన్ని dx by dt గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. సెకండ్ టర్మ్ v into dm పక్కన పెట్టుకొని dx by dt గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. వేర్ dx by dt is nothing but rate of change of position with respect to time కాబట్టి then it is equal to velocity. Now the final equation of change in kinetic energy or small amount of kinetic energy dk is equal to mv into dv plus v square into dm. From special theory of relativity, we also have that if m naught is the rest mass and m is the moving mass of the particle, then m can be 1 minus v square by c square. So for this m square, దీన్ని squaring on both sides చేస్తే it out becomes to be m square is equal to m naught square divided by 1 minus v square by c square. అయితే c స్క్వేర్ని LCM తీసి పైకి తీసుకెళ్తే దట్ అప్పుడు ఈక్వేషన్ టర్న్స్ అవుట్ టు బి m naught square c square by c square minus v square. c square by minus v square ni if we send it to the other side and multiply with m square, it turns out to be m square c square minus m square v square is equal to m naught c square. Now differentiating of this equation, we get here only c is constant, where c corresponds to speed of light. Remaining m naught is also constant, and remaining m, v, mass and velocity both are variables. Therefore the equation becomes, first m c square లో m ని u, c square ని v అనుకుంటే c is constant కాబట్టి c పక్కన అలానే ఉంటుంది. m వచ్చేసి 2m into dm అవుతుంది మైనస్ ఇక్కడ m మాస్ వెలాసిటీ v రెండు కూడా వేరియబుల్ కాబట్టి విల్ యూజ్ హియర్ uv ఫార్ములా వేర్ mv is equal to differentiation of mv is equal to v square into tm into dm minus m square into 2v dv. ఇక్కడ m0 కాన్స్టెంట్ c కూడా కాన్స్టెంట్ కాబట్టి m0 c² will become 0. Now here c² into dm minus v² into dm minus mb into dv. This equation is obtained by taking 2 and m constant to the other side. Then the final equation is c² dm is equal to mb dv plus v² dm. Now see the kinetic energy equation. dk is equal to mb dv plus v² dm. We can replace mb dv plus v² dm with dk. Then from equation 4 and 5 dk is equal to c² dm. సో స్టార్టింగ్లో ఇంకా పార్టికల్ మోషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేసే ముందు టైం 0 అవుతుంది, మాస్ m0 అవుతుంది, కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ 0 అవుతుంది. వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ ది పార్టికల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో 0. ఆఫ్టర్ ఏ టైమ్ ఇంటర్వెల్ t, మాస్ increases to m, kinetic energy becomes k, velocity of the particle becomes v. So on integration of equation 6 we get integral of equation 6 within the limits dk integral of 0 to k is equal to c² integral of dm within the limits m0 to m. So dk ni integrate cheste k vastundi, dm ni integrate cheste m vastundi, limits apply cheste upper limit minus lower limit m minus m0. Now this is all about kinetic energy. Therefore kinetic energy is given by c² into m minus m0. We know the total energy of the particle is sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Now total energy ni calculate cheyadaniki velte total energy is equal to k plus m0 c², where m0 c² is called as rest mass energy. Now k ante c² m minus m0. So on substitution of this c² into m minus m0, the final equation turns out to be E is equal to mc². This is nothing but Einstein's mass energy relation. This is a very important question which carries 5 marks. Now verification of Einstein's mass energy relation. Einstein's mass energy relation was successful in explaining the some of the concepts that have been taking place, some of the phenomena that are taking place in nature. Thus giving a solid verification for mass energy relation given by Einstein. So here we would be talking about conversion of mass into energy and energy into mass in nature with examples. When a particle like proton, neutron or electron collides with an antiparticle, namely anti-neutron, anti-proton or anti-electron, they combine and give out radiant energy. This is what happens when we talk about atomic level or micro level study has proved this to be right. And Sommerfeld tried to explain the fine structure of spectral lines using variation of mass, and he was successful in explaining the experimental lines that have been formed when a hydrogen or helium atom was excited and its spectrum was drawn. The number of lines that were formed were based on the relation of Einstein's mass energy. Compton did X-ray scattering experiment. By considering the X-ray scattering as an elastic collision between a photon and an electron, he observed the change in the wavelength during this collision, and by applying law of conservation of energy and momentum using light mass energy relation, he calculated the wavelength shift, which were in good agreement with experimental results, thus proving that Einstein's mass energy relation is even happening in nature. That Einstein's mass energy theory was derived from the phenomena that were taking place in nature. So, this completes the topic of relativistic mechanics. We will look at the problems of relativistic mechanics. Starting with Michelson-Morley's experiment formula, the problem is to find out the fringe shift in Michelson-Morley experiment, where the distance between the two plates, that is two mirrors M1 and M2 from the glass plate was equal and it is 5 meters. The wavelength of the radiation used in this Michelson-Morley experiment, once it was used 5000 angstroms, the other was 3000 angstroms. Now, let us find out what will be the fringe shift delta B. For this, let us first note down the data that is given in the problem. Here, length L, the distance between silver glass plate G and mirror M1 or M2 is given by L, that is 5 meters. Wavelength of radiation used was 5000 angstroms, that has to be converted into MK system, that is 5000 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. Speed of light, as we all know, is constant and is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Since there is no data given regarding the motion of the apparatus, consider that these apparatus are set up on the earth, and the earth's velocity itself is the velocity of the apparatus, that is V is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 4 meters per second. Now, the fringe shift delta B is given by 2 L V square by lambda C square. Substituting the value of 2 L V and lambda C square in the above formula, the total fringe shift on calculation is turned out to be 0.2. Now, calculate the same fringe shift for the given data for the wavelength of 3000 angstroms. This is going to be the assignment given to you in this module. Next, we will move towards the next problem. Problem is based on variation length contraction. Now if your rod is moving with velocity 0.5 c, calculate the percentage of contraction its length. So the formula for percentage calculation is change in length by original length into 100. Now we have to know what is a change in length. First of all, we have to know what is its contraction. So for this, we don't know what is the original length, we don't know what is the length while moving, but we know the velocity of the rod. So let us suppose L naught is the original length and L is the length of the rod in motion, and velocities V and C values are as follows. V is equal to 0.5 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. C is equal to speed of light 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Now take the ratio of L naught by L, that is equal to 1 minus V square by C square, 1 minus 0.5 into C square by C square gets cancelled, we will be left with 0.86 L naught by L. If L is 1 అనుకుంటే, L naught is 1 అనుకుంటే, the change in the length is 14% అవుతుంది. So in this way we have another formula. Now similarly, this is a problem for doing it yourself. A rod is moving with half the velocity of light, and if the length of the rod is 1 meter, find its actual length. So here the rod is moving with half the velocity of light, ante V is equal to half C అవుతుంది, and C 3 into 10 to the power of 8 అవుతుంది, L 1 meter అవుతుంది. We have to find out actual length. So for this the formula is L naught is equal to L into root of 1 minus V square by C square. ఏం లేదు, L అంటే 1, L అంటే 1, L naught అంటే this is the thing, substitute L, V, C values, will get L naught value. This is a problem related to length, where the length of the moving rod has to be calculated. So ikkada the rod is moving with velocity 0.5 c, V is equal to 0.5 c. Calculate the percentage of the contraction in its length. So we all know that length decreases if it is moving with velocity comparable to the velocity of light, and the formula is given by L naught original length anukunte, L length measured while moving anukunte, L naught is equal to L into root of 1 minus V square by C square వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు L naught by L is equal to 1 minus V square by C square. L naught by L into 100 చేస్తే వచ్చేదే మన లెంత్ కాంట్రాక్షన్. సో దీనికోసం V ఇంటి 0.5c అలానే డైరెక్ట్గా సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే విల్ గెట్ రూట్ ఆఫ్ 0.75, 0.86. పర్సంటేజ్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయడం we already talked about it. Sorry, this is already over. A clock. Now this is a problem related to time. We all know that according to special theory of relativity, time dilation takes place. The clock will move slow. So based on this concept, we have a problem saying that a clock shows correct time in a day at rest but delays by 2 hours when it is in motion. అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటంటే క్లాక్ రెస్ట్ పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు 24 hours డేలో 24 hours చూపిస్తుంది. అదే క్లాక్ని మనం ఒక హై వెలాసిటీలో వెళ్తున్న ఫ్రేమ్లో నుంచి చూసినట్లయితే, ఫ్రేమ్లో ఉంచి చూసినట్లయితే ఒక డేకి ఇట్ విల్ షో ఓన్లీ 23 hours, డిలేడ్ బై 2 hours. అంటే నార్మల్గా 24 ఉండాల్సింది 2 hours లేట్ చూపిస్తుంది, అంటే 22 hours చూపిస్తుంది. సో ఒరిజినల్ టైమ్ ఈజ్ 24 hours, బట్ టైమ్ ఈజ్ డిలేడ్ బై 2 hours కాబట్టి టైమ్ ఇన్ రిలేటివ్ మూవింగ్ ఫ్రేమ్ విల్ బి 22 hours. Now substitute delta t delta. అయితే we have to find out velocity v. We all know c is constant. So take this relation, substitute delta t dash delta t. Delta t is original time, delta t dash is time in motion. So 22 by 24, and the formula becomes v is equal to 1 minus 22 by 24 whole square into c, and that comes out to be 0.91 c, and the velocity of the system is 0.9 into c. Similarly, we have another formula. This another problem. This has to be done by the students. So ఈ ప్రాబ్లంలో ఏమవుతుందంటే క్లాక్ షోస్ కరెక్ట్ టైమ్ అట్ రెస్ట్ 24 hours per a day, బట్ ఇట్ షోస్ 1 hour లేట్, అంటే 23 hours చూపిస్తుంది ఇన్ ఏ డే. అంటే అప్పుడు వాట్ విల్ బి ద వెలాసిటీ? సేమ్ ఫార్ములా, ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ టేకింగ్ డెల్టా టీ 22, హియర్ we will get delta t dash 23, ఒరిజినల్ టైం 24 యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ అలానే ఉంటుంది. సో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ దిస్ ఇన్ ది ఫార్ములా, దెన్ విల్ గెట్ v ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు రూట్ ఆఫ్ 1 minus 23 by 24 whole square into c square, and this would be the solution. This is for the assignment part for the sake of students. Now we will see problem based on Einstein's mass energy relation. Now in this context we have a problem. The total energy of the particle is twice its rest mass energy. What is its velocity? First of all, let us know what is the equation for rest mass energy. Rest mass energy ante em ledu, Einstein's mass energy relation is equal to mc square lo m naught aithe, then it will become rest mass energy, that is E is equal to m naught c square. Now Einstein's mass energy relation we already know, E is equal to mc square for a moving particle where m is the mass while the particle is moving. Now here m can be written in terms of rest mass from special theory of relativity as m is equal to m naught by root of 1 minus v square by c square గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. దాన్ని మనం పైన ఈక్వేషన్లో ఈ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంసీ స్క్వేర్లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇట్ బికమ్స్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎం నాట్ సి స్క్వేర్ బై రూట్ ఆఫ్ 1 మైనస్ వి స్క్వేర్ బై సి స్క్వేర్. అయితే ఆల్రెడీ అకార్డింగ్ టు ది ప్రాబ్లమ్ ద ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ ది పార్టికల్ ఈజ్ ట్వైస్ ఇట్స్ రెస్ట్ మాస్ ఎనర్జీ కాబట్టి ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ రైటింగ్ ఈ బదులు మనం ఎం నాట్ టూ టైమ్స్ ఈ నాట్ తీసుకుంటే ఈ నాట్ అంటే ఎం నాట్ సి స్క్వేర్ నో గెట్స్ క్యాన్సిల్ అండ్ ది ఫైనల్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఆన్ సింప్లిఫికేషన్ వుడ్ బి v ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు రూట్ 3/2 ఇంటూ సి. Similarly, we have another problem. Now, the total energy of the particle is 3 times its rest mass energy. Velocity of the particle has to be calculated. So, now in this problem, rest mass energy is given by E naught m naught c square and energy of the moving particle is given by E is equal to mc square. Now mc square can be ikkada moving energy is 3 times the rest mass energy ante E is equal to 3 E naught. Now E naught ante we already know m naught c square and E అంటే mc square. m బదులు మనం m naught by root of 1 minus v square by c square ని సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే the equation comes out to be root of 1 minus v square by c square is equal to 1/3. On simplification దీని నుంచి మనం స్క్వేరింగ్ ఆన్ బోత్ సైడ్స్ చేసి 1ని అవతల పంపించుకొని చేసుకుంటే మనకు v వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. So this has to be done by the students. So by this we have completed the chapter of relativistic mechanics.